Hi, this is Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and today I'm going to share with you my planner setup using our February kits. Some of the items are from our January memory keeping kits, and we design the kits when they ship together to actually work together. So I'll try to point out as I go through anything that I've used from the memory keeping kits, just to give you an idea of how it works together and what I've pulled from what kit, so you can reference that. Especially if you get all of the kits, it'll help you kind of know what to pull from. So anyway, I'm going to start with the planner. I've got a couple of I started some memory keeping in my standard size story booklets. I'm going to share that with you. And then I also kind of organized an on-the-go tote to do my memory keeping, to make it a little more efficient and a little more usable, so that you can, I have a dedicated craft room, which is lovely, but a lot of times, you find those few minutes to do your memory keeping or your planning or whatever, not necessarily when you can go devote a set amount of time down in my craft room. So I needed something that I could do, like, while I'm preparing dinner or waiting for something in the oven, or just maybe while I'm in bed because I'm too tired to go downstairs and I just need 10 minutes. And so anyway, so I've kind of come up with a little system for that, and I'm going to share that with you as well. So first of all, this month I am using the Simple Stories Carpe Diem planner. This is the A5 binder, and this one is from the Reset Girl line, and I believe it's called Ballerina was the color. The Simple Stories still has one in their lineup that's available now, and it's the blush color. It's almost identical. So what I liked about this is it had a little bit more of the peachy tone to it, which I thought went so pretty with our colors, because if you look at our color scheme, there's kind of a soft blush pink, and it has a little bit of a peach tone to it, and then there's some corals in there as well. So I thought it complemented it really well. Just go over my pockets like I always do. Because it has the little window here, I used one of the little Simon note cards that was in the, I believe he was in the planner add-on. So I put him in there. I added a few die cuts, puffy stickers, and then I made a couple of tags just from pattern paper dashboards. And then this was actually a tag I made from one of my leftover pieces of the weekly stripe pages from my personal size set that I always get each month too. And I wanted to mention I just took a white shipping tag and covered it with that paper. And then to make the ring, I used a ring hole punch. And this is from, I think this is We Are Memory Keepers. But anyway, we have some of these in the store. So these are cute. They punch the little ring reinforcer, the ring hole for you, which is really kind of neat. So you can kind of custom make your own tags there a little bit. This was just, I think it was a clothing or a merchandise tag. I thought it was pretty. I tucked that in there. Just some of my clips that I've had from my stash. This one was from a die cut. Again, I made another tag from some pattern paper and one of our puffy clip toppers. So cute. And then this little tag, I just added one of our die cuts, but I added just a little bit of foam adhesive on that, just to kind of raise it up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna kind of go through my pages, and there's a couple of different things I'm gonna point out as we go. So my daily pages, I start, and I always do, I mention this every time, but I always do 2 sets because I like to cut up my pages and try and find different ways to show you all how to use those inserts. Just, a lot of people, we get questions all the time on our Planner Facebook group, that they use the daily, but they don't use the weekly, or they use the week on 2 pages, but they don't use the daily. And how do I use the weekly stripe? So I'm always trying to think of some extra ways, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. There's a few ideas I had for the pages this month. We've started with January, we've started including this fun little card, and it's a packing card. And so every shipment that goes out this month will have one of these packing cards in it. And the reason I started this is I didn't want to necessarily do a packing card that tells you what's in the kit. We have that on the website, and you can always look that up to see what's included with your kit. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what's behind the design. What are my thoughts and the reasons why there's certain exclusives that I included, there's certain product that I included, just information about the color scheme, or any of the design elements at all. So it's just a quick few words from me, and then they're on the back of the packing card just to kind of give you an idea of kind of a little behind the scenes of what went into these designs. So that's something new that we're doing, and I think it's fun. And it's a pretty card on the front too. So if you didn't want the word always, which is the name of our main memory keeping kit, you could always cut that out and you just have a pretty card as well. So we'll always have it function and pretty. So both of those. And then on the inside of this one, I covered up, because I have the calendar on here, I covered this up with some of the planner paper. I used one of the note cards from the planner add-on, and it's just so pretty. I did the little corner round on it just to kind of change it up just a little bit. And then I also created this cute little pocket. Because this planner has a little bit of a smaller ring to it than, like, say for instance my Vanderspecs have a little larger rings, and so I'm trying to keep the bulk down as much as possible. And so I didn't want to have a whole notepad in my planner. I just wanted to have a few sheets that I could grab if I needed to make a list. So what I did is I took some of the pattern paper from the planner kit, and I just made a small, it's about a 4x6 size. Excuse my snuffles. And then I just corner rounded that, and then I took a piece of the transparency, and I believe this was in the classified planner add-on. And I just took a little piece of that and I made a little pocket, and I adhered it by stitching it. So I had the one piece of paper and I stitched that to it, and then I adhered the other piece over top so you didn't see the stitching on the back. And then that gives me a little pocket just to put a few of my little notepad sheets in there. And then on this side I added in the pocket keeping memory kit, let me get those out of here. We have so many pretty journaling cards or note cards, and this month especially I used a lot of them. They're just fun to tuck in your planner. They're fun to decorate your dashboards with. You can make tags out of these. There's a lot of different things that you can do with these. I'm also using them in my memory keeping in my standard Dory, and I'll show you that too. But I used one of them here. I just rounded the corners a little bit. I used some of the alpha stickers we had in one of the kits and just added that on there. And I used a little bit of foam adhesive just to kind of raise it up a little bit, and I think it turned out so pretty. So that's just my little spot for keeping my my little notepad sheets. And then the weekly stripe pages, one of the things that I use mine for is for keeping track of scheduling of the ladies that work for me at the shop. I keep track of their schedules for the week there. And I got to thinking this would be a great way if you have kids in band or in a sports activity or any other after school activity, and you want to keep track of just that week, what does their schedule for that event look like? So it would be nice to be able to just flip to that. Of course you can have it in your monthly schedule too, but it's just nice if to have that all in one space. Like you could just label this, band schedule or, you know, basketball practice, just to kind of give you an idea of how that whole week is going to look with that. You could even, if you wanted to, if they have kind of a set schedule every week and you have more than one child, you could even label them, each with the child's name, and, you know, break it down into sections. So just a couple of ideas on how you could use those weekly stripe pages. I use the set from the personal size as my meal plan, and I'll show you that in a minute. So that's one way that you can use those weekly stripe pages. And then the week on 2 pages, I have to do next week's yet. I have not done that yet, but I just put the dates in, and then I had one of the little Simon note cards in there. This one was from the planner classified as well. That was so cute. So I just put him in there. I like the little note cards. They're fun. They just add another layer. And then I added the other part of the overlay just in this section. I just thought it looked nice. And again, it just adds another layer, a little bit of interest. One of my bookmarks, and this one, I did some layering. So I had this really pretty pattern paper that was in the coordinating paper add-on. And these little flowers mimic the little flowers that you'll see in the planner, and I'll point one out when we get to it, but we have some there real similar to this in the planner design, kind of like a cherry blossom almost. And so I cut that out, and then I layered these with a little bit of foam adhesive, so you can kind of see the little bit of dimension there, little die cut there, one of the tab stickers, and then my word for the year, which if you watched my January planner video, I went over my idea to kind of keep this word forefront and in my planner so that I'm looking at it every day. Again, I layered a few more of them here, just kind of fussy cut around them. I did my one little word and then another little die cut there. And then I always have this be my goals page just for the month of February. And it's not that I don't have goals for this month, I just haven't written them down yet. And then my overlay for the whole month. And I didn't add a whole lot to this. I thought it was so pretty that it really didn't need anything. I had just a little bit of stamping, a few die cuts, and then a couple of these die cuts, again, I raised them with a little bit of foam adhesive. So just kept that kind of simple. And then my meal plan for the month, I used one of the personal size dashboards from our dashboard set that you can order, and I just punched that, rounded the corners, added a tab, and then I stamp a couple of the notepads with groceries, so this will be my little grocery list. And then this is my meal plan. So this is where I'll use these striped ones to plan out my meals for the week. Now, like I mentioned, if you don't buy an extra set of the smaller size, you could certainly just use that larger stripe set for your meal plan. And do this, you could still do the same thing with the little grocery list. And then this is something else that I do with the printables. And I apologize, I don't have an extra set to show you, but the printables, they're free and we have them on the website. You can download those and print them out. You can print out as many as you want. So it's a fun way to add a little bit to your planner, especially if you want to just make some extra lists to put in. So I printed that out, and then on the back side is just a piece of the pattern paper. And what I do, this is, and I've talked about this, and it's starting to work. I kind of rearrange it a little bit each month. I'm trying to get a daily schedule kind of set. Just helps me focus a little bit and get more done in my day. And so that's just kind of my little reminder each month. And then this is something that I'm starting to do that I like. I use one of the smaller sheets, or I'll even sometimes print out the printables. You can tell your printer to make the percentage smaller, so you can print them out a little smaller. I like the idea of kind of a shrunken page, or to have those layers. And so this is just a lot of times I have a list of stuff. It's not necessarily a goal, but it's stuff I've got to get done that week or within the next couple weeks, but I don't have a particular day that it has to get done. So I'll make a list of just stuff that, you know, don't forget, you've got to do this. And then I kind of tuck that in each day and look at it, and, you know, I'll cross things out and as I do them and try to fit those all in. So it's just a smaller sheet, just my don't forget list. And then here's another one of the printables. And then there's a number of newer TV shows that I've started, and what I keep finding myself doing is, it's like I can't remember what station, I can't remember what time, and I need to set them up like to automatically record so that I can have them recorded and watch them when I have time. And so I started just keeping a list of TV shows that I want to watch, what times they're on, what channel they're on. So that's my little TV show list. And then daily pages are right here. And here's that heavy overlay that I showed you last month that I put my one little word on. So this is just going to be in every one of my planners this year. And then I just tucked the extra little card in because I thought that was such a pretty card. My bookmark, and again, here's another way to use those pages up. Remember, I talk about this all the time. It's art. Think of it as art. If you don't use those pages to plan on, cut them up and use them. Don't let them sit. Don't hoard them, because I promise you we're going to have pretty ones to send you the next month. So use them, enjoy them. And I thought Simon was so adorable on here, and I just loved this color palette. So what I did is I turned that into one of my bookmarks, and I've done this before. So we have a free downloadable for like a silhouette for a die cut machine for these bookmarks, and then also for the planner tabs. So I cut this out of a pattern paper, and then I just adhered a piece of that striped paper to the front, and then to the back is part of a dashboard that I cut down. And then I just put a few, again, to try and keep the bulk down. I didn't have my whole sticky note pad because that would be a little bit thicker. I just tore off a few of them and stuck them on my bookmarks. So then I have them handy when I need them. Just a couple of the little hearts on a little foam adhesive just to kind of give that a little dimension. And then I made another one of my pocket cards. I really find this really, really handy. I have extra stickers in my pencil pouch or, you know, in my tote, but it's nice to have the couple that I use all the time. Then everything's kind of self-contained in my planner, which is nice. And so I've shown you how I've made these pockets before. It's basically just either you can use the dashboard, you can use the planner paper. If you get the memory keeping kits or the paper add-ons of our paper, you can use any of that because it all coordinates. So I just used a couple sheets of the planner paper and then a sheet from, this was from the coordinating paper add-on to make the pockets. I cut the little scallops out using my silhouette, and then I fussy cut a few of the hearts from one of our pattern papers and put those on. And all I do is I adhere it all together, sew all the way around the edge, and then I have my little pockets. I'll add a few of our little clips, note cards, pictures in there, and then my stickers in the front. And then I wanted to show you, this was a clip that I made using one of the die cuts this month that was in the planner kit. So it's just Simon with his little flowers, and then on the back, I just adhered one of the hearts. So it's just a paper clip in between, but it turned out really cute. So that's that. And then I left this in, y'all are probably getting sick of seeing my wedding pictures, but I left this in because I wanted to show you that in your planner is a great place to tuck little photos. If you've got some adorable pictures of your furry babies or your children, it's a great way to just tuck a little picture in and decorate your planner that way. I mean, our loved ones, what a great way to have them in our planner and remind us of why we do all the busy stuff in our lives that we do. And then I'm just going to page through and show you the rest of my dashboards here. So this was one of from the dashboard set. This was one of the pattern papers from the 12 by 12 memory keeping kit. And one of the dashboards and just our tabs. I made a little ribbon clip there, more of our paper. And then I always use the personal size. When you get the dashboard, you get the A5 size and the personal size. And I'll use the A5 for my large dividers, and then I'll use the personal size if I want to divide those sections up even more. I just put the tabs on top. So this is paper on the one side. I think I used them, usually I'll just back up because you get 6, I'll just back them up, but I wanted to use them for some other things. So a lot of them I just put pattern paper on the other side. So you see pattern paper on that one. There's another one, and then some more pattern paper. And then a dashboard. And there's some more of that pretty flower paper. Another dashboard. And then on a couple of these, again, those note cards and journaling cards that you get in our pocket scrapbooking kit, I used to decorate a few of the backs of my dashboards. If they just really kind of went with the paper, I put them in there. And I thought this one was so cute. And then I couldn't not have a shaker card, especially when in the main scrapbooking kit, the 12 by 12 memory keeping kit, we had this custom set of heart sequins. And so they were perfect for making a shaker card. What I did is there was a real bright pink. I didn't want that on this particular paper, so I picked the real bright pink out, and I went with the more translucent one, and then the more coral colored pink hearts. So you can see that. And I've shown in some of my past videos how I make these. It's just a page protector, and I use a fuse tool to go around it. Again, you could always use washi tape. You could use, you could even sew this if you wanted to. And then on the back, I just fussy cut some of the hearts from one of the pattern papers, and I laid that on the top just so that it wasn't all under the page protector, just to give it a little bit, again, with the whole idea of dimension. So that's my little shaker card. And my goals, not my monthly goals, my big goals. I just used the printable, added some die cuts and some letter stickers, and put that on there. Some of the planner paper on the back of that. One of our dashboards. One of these, this paper was in the 12 by 12 scrapbooking kit. It was so pretty, and I thought that journal card went really cute with that. And then another dashboard and some more of that same paper. And then just to point out a couple of these, because y'all might ask, this one and this one, these two clips are from Katie Jo Collections. She has an Etsy, and she does beautiful felted flowers. This one was one of our flowers that we had in the, I believe it was the Planner Classified kit. And then of course my beautiful pen gem pen, that was our exclusive wedding pen. The colors just match perfect this month. So I want to share with you a couple ideas. We talked about the planner papers and some ideas on how to use those. What are some different ways of using these papers? And a couple of things that I came up with this month are, everybody's got handy dandy hole punches, right? So we talked about using this paper to make tags, to make bookmarks, but remember I tell you all the time that it's art, so use it. One of the things that you could do, you could use a small hole punch, and you could punch around each one of these days of the week to decorate some of your daily pages if you wanted to. I just used a punch and punched out right around the little Simon because I thought that would be just a cute little die cut in itself. You could even reinforce this with a little bit of cardstock and make a planner clip out of that. How cute would that be? And then again, on the other side, you can punch out these flowers if you wanted to. You could fussy cut around little Betty there. You could cut that out in the whole thing with the saying as a square. You could decorate a page with that. So remember, if just because you're not going to write on it and use it in some way as scheduling in your planner, use the pages as art. They're art, use them, cut them up, think of ways to use them. So that's with the larger page. I did the same thing on a couple of the personal size pages just to show you. More circle punching, super easy way. And I've got some of the cute hearts there. I punched out the word today with Simon on one of the circles. That would be an adorable little planner clip. And then you don't feel like you're wasting these pages. You're like, well, I get them, but I don't use them. Well, this is a fun way to try and use them. Then you don't feel guilty for those pages just sitting there. I did the same thing on this side. There's another one of Simon that I cut out. And then another thing I wanted to show, your daily pages, and this would be true for either size, the A5 or the personal. What I did is, so here's my dailies. If maybe you went on vacation and you didn't use them all, or you use just the striped pages like I do for meal planning mostly, and I want to do something with these. What I did is I looked at that and I went, it's a to-do list. I mean, everybody needs a to-do list, right? So I cut it. So I cut off the hydrate, I cut off the top part. Now I have a to-do list. It already has the lines, it's got the check marks, it's got to-do list typed right on it. Now I'm not using it as a whole page, but how fun would this be if in my week, I just need to take that and clip it on, and there's my to-do list. So, I mean, that's another great way of using those pages, thinking outside the box a little bit on different ways to not let those pages go to waste. Another thing that you could do the other side, you could cut around just this part, and you could use the notes and ideas and attach that, clip that to your page. You could even cut them all out and use them with a little clipboard. If you use up your notepad, like this one here, I've got the notepad in. You could do that, you could cut those out. It wouldn't take you long because you could use a trimmer and you could trim a few of them at a time, and then you'd have a little notepad with those. It says notes and ideas, and they're pretty. You know, you keep that in your kitchen for when you have to do a grocery list, or when you suddenly remember 20 things you need to do that day. You can jot those down and then transfer them into your planner later if you want to. So just a couple ideas on how to use some of those papers. And then I wanted to show you, because I have not shown you yet, the pencil pouch, because how cute is that? So the main planner kit this month came with the little Simon pencil pouch. The back side has the pretty watercolor hearts. And then I added a bow, and then to the bow I added the cute little Simon charm. I don't know if you can see him. And he was in the main planner kit as well. And we're definitely going to be doing some more of those charms because they are so fun. In fact, we have one coming up for, I'm hoping, May. So we've got that in the works. So that'll be fun. Now, I wanted to share with you what I am doing, and I'm going to try to get this up here. So let me see if I can get it up here and keep it in focus. So this is, oh, it is kind of in focus. Let's see if I can, ooh. Anyway, this is my big, huge bin. So I got this polka dot canvas bin at Joann's. And I was using, when I originally did this, and I had a picture on my Instagram account, I had a tote bag, and it was a 31 tote bag, which was super cool. I loved it, but it was just a little too small. So I went with this idea. And I kind of divided up the bin. I've got a little carry-all here that I put in. I've got some of my larger pouches. I've got a nice kind of a plastic envelope that I put like larger alphas and paper pieces in. And then in here I've got some of my Dory booklets. I've got my chalk in here. And then I've got some of my extra stickers. And the reason I'm doing this is that I've started, okay, sorry about that, back again. My camera just stopped on me. So we were talking about this bin that I've put together for just kind of taking my memory keeping and planning on the go, kind of wherever I need it to go. It's just got a real consolidated group of kind of stuff that I need to do that. It doesn't obviously have all of my craft supplies, but it's the stuff that I find that I can make work just if I need to grab it on the go. So I've got a larger planner bag here, and I apologize if I'm repeating something. I've got a larger planner bag or pouch here that I put some of my extra stickers in, some of my extra dories. I've got my chalk in here for when I do some stamping. And then I showed you I have the alphas and some of the papers in there. I've got a corner rounder. And then this little extra little tote, this is from 31 as well. And what I found is it's nice, I've got kind of an open space left here I can tuck my planner in. But down in here I got a couple of little art bin, clear little storage plastic storage boxes for extra die cuts. And these are random ones that I had on my crafty desk that I want to use. They aren't necessarily from any particular kit. They're kind of a mishmash, but I thought this way I'll use them up if I've got them handy. So I've got just a little couple of those. I've got an extra stamp pad that goes with the month's colors. And then I have my new handy dandy little label maker in here. Love this thing. Got that at Michael's. And that is from Die Cuts with a View. And then on this side, I've got a couple of paper punches. There's an arrow one and a heart. So I'll switch those out depending on whatever month I'm working on. Extra pair of scissors, hole punch. I've got on the pocket here, I've got a few extra pens, colored pens, and then an X-Acto knife. I use my X-Acto knife all the time, not just for cutting things out, obviously, but it's a great way to place small stickers, to get them off of the sheet and then place them nice and straight. And then I have two more little, I don't remember what brand these are. I don't remember what brand. I got these at Joann's as well, but they're just little plastic containers and they're the perfect height. They're thin enough I can fit two of them in here, but they're thick enough where I can keep, you can see it, I won't open it. There's my roller stamps in there, my adhesive, there's a little hole punch. I've got those in there, and then they're also great for holding your stamps. So I got all of my stamps in there. And then I took one of the bags. This one was a mess up, so I took this one home. We stamped it the wrong way. And I had this, last year I had shown how I painted and used a little glitter to make that into a gift bag. But then the other thing that I thought was pretty is I took some ribbon, I took the string out of it and I added some pretty ribbon to use it to open and shut it. So I thought that just kind of added a little bit of color. I thought it was pretty. So you can easily replace the string that comes in those with just some ribbon. And then in here I have my portable little printer for all the pictures that I put in my Dory booklet. So I'll keep that along with some extra film, and then that just kind of keeps that a little, just a little protected. So that is in there, and then in here, I have, this is a Kipling pencil case, and I keep my stamps in here actually. And you're not supposed to see that. That's something that's coming up, so if you were quick enough, you might have seen it, but that's a prototype of something we're doing. So these are just kind of some of the alpha stamps that I use, and then I've got a few of my inks, some of the smaller blocks in here. So this has kind of my go-to stamps that I use probably almost every time when I work in my little Dory booklet. So I'm gonna show you now, I'm gonna get this out of the way, and I'm gonna show you my Dory booklet and what I've started doing. Oh, and I had one more. I forgot to show you this. I had one larger one. This one I actually stole from my kids' toys when they used to do Legos. So I dumped the Legos out and I now use this kind of for the current month's die cuts. So I've got some of the current month's die cuts in there. I've got my date stamp. I've got some of the pictures coming up that I have to put in there, tags, and then some of my planner clips. So when I do my planning or my memory keeping, it's just kind of my handy stuff. I've got my journaling pen in here. And then this was part of the Planner Classified kit. This is a stamp that I had designed, and I just thought it was so fun. It's got a little heart on the end. I don't know if you can see that. And I liked the long handle. It's easy to hold, and it's also nice to put in your pencil pouch. It's just kind of like the shape of a pen. And I thought it would be so fun to use the little heart to mark off on your to-do list or to mark off on the hydrate glasses. So that's kind of the thought process behind that cute little stamp that was in the Planner Classified kit. And then this, actually, there's room that tucks right in there. So that's my whole little bin. And then I want to show you what I'm doing with all of that stuff. So I'm going to zoom back down, if I can do it without. There we go. So this is my little standard Dory booklet. I covered it with a piece of vellum that I had from my stash, and then some of the die cuts and puffy stickers. So basically all that I'm using in here, I'm keeping it super simple, is there's a few stamp sets that I'm using, and I have this larger weekday stamp set is from Carrie Bradford Designs. So I'm using that along with a date stamp to keep it real consistent, because there already is decoration on these pages. I don't need to add a whole lot, so it's making it super easy, super fast. I'm just using some of the stickers, some of the puffy stickers, super fun, alpha stickers from the kits. And then you can also use some of the note cards in here too. So what I did is I've just been consistently doing a picture each day, a little bit of journaling, and then maybe a few stamped images, a few stickers, so not a lot. So keeping it really super simple. But I love that I'm recording all of this again. I'm so happy to be doing that. I've missed doing it, and I've missed capturing those memories. And with the boys getting older, it just worries me that, you know, I stopped at a certain point when they got a little older, but I still want to capture the everyday, and I still want to be able to look back at that stuff. So, and I'm not, normally I was always super sensitive about my handwriting because it's super sloppy, but I'm not even worrying about it. I want to get my thoughts down, and I want to capture that stuff. So again, I'm being very consistent with a few of the things that I do each day, and then that keeps the look nice and clean and cohesive as I go through. So just kind of, I put a little staple in the top of the picture, and I'm not worried that the pictures aren't super top quality. That's not going to matter to me. You know, 10 years from now, what's going to matter to me is that I have a picture of that moment. So a little puffy sticker, and it doesn't bother me that the way the pages are sectioned off in the Dory booklet. There's really no rhyme or reason. If it has lines, if it doesn't have lines, like this page did not have any. I just drew some. I need to go back and put the journaling in on that one. These I just work around the sections, and I kind of like the design element of it. So it's really fun. Just kind of moving the pictures around this way or that way. And then this I had a couple pictures for one day, which is fine. There's no rule particularly how you have to do it. I tucked in a little tag on that one. And then a little bit of ephemera. You can always add pieces of packaging or a ticket stub, different things that you did. And then this is Sunday. I haven't gotten farther here yet, but I did like the idea, like on this page that's blank, I had shown you where I had drawn some lines. You could always use, again, here's another instance where you could cut out this grid page if you wanted to use that for your journaling. You could tuck that in or glue it right down and use that for your journaling if you need lines. The other thing you can do is you can use a journaling card from the Pocket Life Kit like I'm gonna do here. You could always, if a particular page you don't like the artwork for some reason, or you feel like you want to have more color, you can cut a piece of this to fit your page and glue it down. You can totally change these up. You could always, if you had a super busy week, you could always insert these with some washi tape and have an added extra page. And again, look at how cute that is layered in there, even just like that. And now I've got a grid, I can do my journaling, I can move that down, I can put a picture here. So it's a cute way to use those pages. And even if you decide that you want to order a standard dory strictly for memory keeping, I would encourage you to order then a set of the personal pages as well, because there's so much that you can add with these in your booklet. So that is what I'm doing, and so that is a look at how I've started doing my memory keeping. I've kept it super simple, not a lot of smoke and magic, just kind of a picture, a little stamping, journaling, and I'm just thrilled with how it's turning out. And I'm thrilled that I'm using one of the little Dory booklets. And we have 4 different sizes, so whatever size works for you. I like the standard size. I might try the B6 next month, just to do something different. We'll see. But that is it for this month. And I hope you're enjoying all of the products and the inserts and the pretty colors this month. And a lot of you have already gotten your March kits in the mail, and I hope you're finding time to play with those as well. And as always, thank you so much for being a part of Coco Daisy and supporting this business and allowing me to share these designs with all of you. And it's just a blast, and I just appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I'll try to get to them as quick as I can. And I will see you the next month. Thank you.